Thank you very much, and welcome everybody to another episode of Spotlight here on EXXXOTICA.tv. Of course, as you may or may not know at this point, Spotlight is kind of our show to let our stars shine, so to speak. I'm Jay. I'm one of the hosts, and my faithful co-host Dan. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Jay? I'll just get it out of the way because he's gonna insult me. So he's gonna say I'm old, bald, ugly, whatever else he's gonna say. So we got all these things established, so you don't have to say it again.
He's got overgrown toenails.
Yes, I do have that too. I haven't been able to get my petty, like talons.
All right, 3 seconds, it's already off the rails. What's up, Dan? Are you? Listen, I'm excited for this one because it's a longtime friend of ours.
Very, long time. I mean, she was at probably like the second or third Exotica with us.
I know the answer to this because I did my research, and I may or may not have found one of the photos that we had from 2007. So we'll see.
But you know what the weird thing is
she's hotter now.
She's hotter now than she's ever been.
It's amazing. It's one of the more mind-bending things that I've seen in our 15 years here doing the Exotica Expo, because you're right. Like, she just gets hotter and hotter. She's like a fine wine.
Like a fine wine.
Which it's, we probably won't air this on a Friday, but it's Friday, so I'm ready to start drinking anyway. So I'll let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. So, and we're joined too with a very special guest also. So we have I guess we can call them the first couple of porn.
The power couple.
The power couple of porn. The porn's power couple.
Porn's power
couple. We have, the 2020 reigning male performer of the year and Hall of Famer.
Every Hall of Famer.
Is every Hall of Famer we found out.
Every single one.
The punk rock princess of porn, Small Hands, and Joanna Angel.
Yeah. What up, guys? What's happening, guys?
Hi.
What's up?
Yeah, Small Hands, you got the quarantine beard going.
I do. We're this is the longest beard I think I've ever had in my life.
He can barely grow a beard.
It's true.
I shaved this morning.
How do you feel about it, Joanna?
Yep. And we froze.
I like it.
Oh, there she is.
It's not like a big beard,
So the scruff is okay, but if it got rubber banded around, you'd have a problem with it?
I mean, I don't even think it could get there. But no, I've never been one.
Have
there
faith.
are certain.
We could be in this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain girls that are like really into beards, and I think they're cool. Like when people do really unique things with their big long beards, but I've never been like a beard girl.
Yeah.
It's like my thing.
Until now.
Dun dun dun.
Beards, that's like two different things.
Well, and it's usually one way or the other. It's either they love the beard or they hate the beard. Like it's nice to find somebody kind of indifferent.
Yeah, I like scruff though. I think scruff is sexy.
It's manly.
Thank you. I'm like Evan Almighty though. Or Bruce Almighty. I shave in the mirror and then and then I turn away and I come back and it's right back.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And so, Small Hands, with your shave, were you one of those? For myself, I know I couldn't grow a beard ever until I hit 26 years old, and then all of a sudden it just it miraculously appeared.
See, for me, it's not that my mom is Japanese and my dad's white. So the Asian side doesn't want to grow the beard, but the white side does. So I can get there. It's just slow. It's real slow. It'll take a year to grow a beard that you could probably grow in 2 weeks.
And the thing is, when you're younger, you only wish that you could grow a beard, and then when you get old, you're just like, oh fuck, I got to shave again. I can't do this again.
Yeah, it's been kind of liberating to not shave.
Nice, let it fly.
And you guys are still able to shoot content because you're quarantined, you're married, obviously, and you're quarantined together. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're
very lucky like that.
Yeah, we've been shooting for my OnlyFans. We shot a scene for Brazzers that's up, and yeah.
So we're 34 days in. Do you still like each other?
Oh, we love.
Oh.
Well, actually,
he's flashing signs in the back, get me out. I need help.
You saved me.
No, I mean, well, we're both like so busy all the time. This has actually been like I feel like it's been we've gotten to spend more time together than we have.
And are your day to day? I mean, like one thing I've been surprised with all of the whole quarantine and kind of locked in or whatever. I feel like every day we're busy as hell.
I'm actually I've been very busy. People kind of keep throwing things at me like, I know you're not doing anything during the quarantine, so how about you do this? I know you're not. And there was like one day where I was legitimately stressed. I'm like, I have 4 different Zooms back to back. I'm like, and then I have to go in the living room and do a live workout, and then I have to come back here and do a radio show, and then I have to go back out there and do this. And I'm like, this is kind of funny that
you like yearn for the days where you had like one scene to shoot and like, you know, go out and get it done versus like 24/7.
It went from like nothing to a lot really fast. Like the first like week I had like nothing to do, and it was pretty relaxing. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, because the world just needs a lot of content right now. Yeah. So everybody kind of reaching out to everybody to do whatever can be done.
Yeah, we're like locusts. Everybody's just like snagging up content and just, you know, consuming whatever's out there. I mean, do you find, because I mean, look, you've always been, you know, one of the ones who's been on the forefront of everything. Like you're a porn visionary, a Renaissance woman, so to speak. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you've been, let's go through it. I mean, you started your own company, with Burning Angel.
Yeah.
So, and you were probably arguably the largest female-owned, production company out there, website.
Thank you.
And so ahead of their time too. I mean, that's the amazing thing. Like seeing now, you know, so many years later, like you're able to look back and say, like, you know, the kind of punk rock porn, princess of porn, or what, you know, the whole moniker. I mean, that you were the first person doing so much of that.
We call it alt porn, Jay.
Alt porn.
There's a bunch of names for it.
There's a bunch of names.
All part of the mainstream, so I don't even know if it needs
inked up or whatever. So I mean, as far as that, you did that, the website, you had the DVDs and all that. You featured Dan's. We published a magazine together.
Burning Angel did the Burning Angel magazine. I love that magazine.
That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, magazines are dead.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's sad, but and coming to Exxxotica. So going back, Jay, what was the first Exxxotica again for Joanna?
2007.
Do you have a picture there of her?
It doesn't seem that long ago.
It doesn't. And 2007 was the second year of Exxxotica. It was the first year I did Exxxotica.
It was in Miami, right?
It was Miami's second year.
Because the first year of Exxxotica, Joanna, I don't know if you remember, you and I and a bunch of girls, we were in New York for the Exotic Erotic Ball.
I remember.
So we couldn't go down there, and then the next year we went down to. Jay just put up the image or whatever of you. You look the same.
No, she does. She looks the same with less tattoos.
And we'll get back to what is different in a minute, because we'll bring that picture back up in a minute. But you did that one, and then we went down to Miami for Jay's second show, and my love affair with Mr. Handy over there started from there. We've been in bliss for 14 years now together.
Yeah. I feel like I've been there the whole time, like watching you guys.
Yeah. And so I mean,
you've seen it blossom.
That's 40 shows ago for us.
Wow, it's crazy.
And the sad thing is, as we tape this, the day that we were recording this, actually right now, it would have been the first night of our 42nd show, right? 42nd or 43rd?
Yeah, something like that.
But our 10th anniversary in Chicago was supposed to be this
today.
weekend.
Opening day today.
Fucking sucks.
Fucking Corona. Goddamn Rona.
So bring the picture back up from Joanna.
Okay.
I mean, that wasn't taken at Exxxotica. But
no, that was like your promo image for like 2007 or 8 or something like that.
We'll bring that up.
No, a lot has changed because tons more ink. You've gotten a ton of work done, and honestly, like you're like fit. Like you were like young fit here. Now you're fit,
ripped.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you guys know, once you get older, like I was naturally, skinny when I was younger. I never had a weight problem or anything. I kind of took it for granted. I didn't realize it was such a blessing to be able to eat whatever you wanted and not gain weight. And
a lot of people don't make that transition. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when you're doing clubs and going out on weekends and appearances and eating wings and, drinking,
smoking weed.
Yeah. Like all of the things that.
And I think also from living in New York, I was just walking all the time and I was like really active. And then actually when I finally like really moved to LA, I think I was like 25, 26 or something. And suddenly I'm just eating fast food, and it turns from like, oh, I'm like hungry on my way home from set. I'll just stop here. That's convenient. Oh, I'll do it again. That's convenient. Like, and then all of a sudden it was like a few months later, I'm like, I just gained a lot of weight. And at that point I was like 26 years old. I was like, I had never in my life ever been to a gym. Of course, I wasn't athletic in high school. I was like not a jock. I had never done any kind of athletic activity ever. So I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I like joined a gym, and I felt like I walked into like this like a place I didn't belong, especially an LA gym, being like an East Coast, New York girl. I was like, oh, I hate myself.
I hate what I've become.
So
yeah, but I started just working out and putting that in my routine, but yeah, we're pretty but thank you. I go through phases. Sometimes I'm more fit than others. I love to eat, so like a lot of times I'm working out just so I can eat a little bit more.
Meanwhile, small hands, you strike me as the kind of guy that could eat anything and just stay like ripped up and good to go.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
I'm a lot like Joanna. Before I have the career I have now, I was playing in bands and touring around the world and drunk every night, eating fast food. Never worked out a day in my life. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Keep your clothes on stage.
Yeah.
And then once I started performing and saw what I looked like in bright lights without my clothes on, I was like, oh man, I gotta get it together.
Yeah.
And so I only started working out like kind of, religiously to do this job. And now I like it. It makes me feel good. And
How crazy was that first time that you like had to see yourself on film and be like, I mean, there's got to be that moment where you're like, okay, I got to do this. And I think I got to, like, was it surprising? Was it like, how did you feel about it?
When I first like saw it, or
the first time, yeah, when you first saw the playback of it. Walking on, I'm sure, is one thing, but
I was like, what an ugly man. I still, to this day, I won't watch my own self in sex. I'll watch like the plot,
right?
Up to the point before my wiener comes out, and then I'm like, all right, I lived it. I don't need to watch it. We're good.
Well,
I watch it for the stories.
Yeah. I still get really like I can't watch like a whole scene of mine. I'll just start to
that
be like, why did
true.
I?
She watches her own stuff all the time.
No, I watch
She's
the
lying.
trailers.
She's
I watch the trailers.
Okay.
But it's quality. But you're watching it because you're directing this stuff, so it's quality control. You have to.
Exactly.
Well, it's kind of like nobody likes the sound of their own voice, right? I mean, like if you listen to yourself in any way, you're like,
except for you, Jay. You love the sound of your own voice.
I love it.
You could do. Or you have a mic right next to you. You could do some ASMR.
My kids have tried to hijack my mic, and like the first day that we got it and set it up, they were like, oh, we're gonna like wrap it in cellophane and squish stuff on it. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, step away. The beauty of living it or working it at home with.
They know there's a market for that.
I know, it's great.
There's a market for everything.
Yeah.
Dude, those things, we're over here fighting for our tens of thousands, and they're like pulling in like, 1 million people a day watching those things. I don't understand it, but
So yeah. The stupid ass question, which you guys have probably been asked 200 million fucking times. How'd you guys meet? For those who don't know. And she froze.
It's coming back.
I owned a business in San Diego, which is where I'm from, and Joanna used to hire a male performer who was from San Diego, and he was a friend of mine through music, and he knew her through the adult industry. And at some point, he kind of set us up on like a blind date. It was like, oh, like I think you'd like my buddy Aaron, and he's like, oh, you should go out with Joanna. And at the time, I was just, it was a graphic design and printing business. So I was making T-shirts and stickers that said anal and like burning angel.
Oh.
So she was a client of mine, and I only knew Joanna through business. And then at some point, because of this guy. His name was Brian Street Team. He used to be
Oh,
a very
I
popular.
I remember
No,
Brian. Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Brian. He's the guy who started all this. He set the two of us up, and yeah.
Well, you know, come to think of it now, you guys might have had something to do with why me and him met, because I actually remember I first got in touch with him as just a client because there was an Exotica coming up, and our printer who made our t-shirts and stuff was like, I don't know, he like wasn't getting back to me.
Right.
Like it was like a small company that was, you know, was run by some dude, and we, you know, whatever. Anyway, I was like, I need a new person to like make t-shirts for us. So that's how I originally got in touch with him, because we needed t-shirts for Exotica.
You
so
see
you know
that?
what?
Exotica, bringing people together since 2006.
Dude, I was going to say the same exact thing, Jay. That's why we're compatico.
Make love happen.
See?
And that's how it. So I mean, for the first like 6 months or so, our only relationship was me emailing him saying I needed
Orders.
So if you guys ever have kids or whatever, the first kid should be DJ, like Dan and Jay.
I was just going to say Exotica, but DJ Exotica.
Yeah.
But wait, you can't name it after me because I'm still alive.
JD.
Fuck
Exactly.
him.
Dan's always trying to always get in front.
I'm the wind beneath his wings. Age before beauty, Jay. Age before beauty.
That's very true.
So, and also, just a stupid ass question: do you prefer to be called just for short, just Small or Hands?
Mr. Hands?
Your hands if you're nasty. Small, Hands, Aaron, asshole, dude, anything is fine, really. I'll answer to just about
And I need to know the background. I would, you know, where did it come from?
I wish there was a cooler story, but the fact of the matter is,
We're gonna have to just come up
I
with
never, I know I'm gonna have to just
make
lie.
Seriously.
The true story is, I never thought I would have this career.
Right.
I was, again, playing in bands, owning a business, doing a lot of other things. And when me and Joanna first dated for 2 years, I was a civilian. I never wanted to be a performer. I never asked to be. I never bugged her about
Joanna's like, she sucked him in.
But at
Yeah.
some point, Joanna,
I sex trafficked him.
I was going there. I was getting there. Being the brilliant entrepreneur that she is, she realized, hey, Aaron, you're my man. If you go do that scene, I don't have to pay you. It's free labor. So I had to learn how to do this gig just because Joanna wanted free labor. The name didn't really matter at the beginning because
Okay.
I was literally just I may as well have been a custodian sweeping the floor in another way, you know?
Okay.
There was no glitz and glamour, and she made sure to keep me very humble, and I have a very humbling name.
And your hands are actually normal size.
The release form.
They are kind of small.
They are small.
And to be honest,
Oh,
I
wow.
was nervous.
They are. Sorry.
You know, that I didn't even think about a name. And so when I was filling out paperwork, I just was like, oh my God, I don't have a name. And I'm not like a big rod guy.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. It's not my style. So I was like, whatever. Again, didn't think I'd have a career out of this. Who cares?
You didn't see this in
Yeah.
in print somewhere.
I thought it sounded like an old 50s baseball player. Like, oh, Small Hands, up to the plate, take a swing. And it's really that's what went through my mind was like or like an old mobster, but like the lame one, not the head.
Yeah.
Like there's Capone, and then there's Small Hands over here tending bar.
So you said you're a musician. I mean, what do you play?
I can play everything: guitar, bass, drums, keyboard. But most of the bands that I was in previously, I was the lead singer or I was the bass player. So I'm more of a rhythm guy overall.
So actually, we got to have you on when we have you on our Friday show. You will also be our musical guest.
Cool.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Play some
I can tell
acoustic shit.
you rock and roll stories about touring all over the world.
Oh man.
All right, so I have this great concept. You ready for a viral video? So you can sing, right? The song "Shallow" from Star Is Born, the duet
Yeah.
with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. You start off, you sing it, and you sing well.
Girl,
Exactly.
happy in this modern world.
And then Joanna comes in with the Lady Gaga part, and you think she's going to sing great, and it's fucking awful. What do you think? Good?
I'm in. As long as I'm the one who sings good, that's cool.
Try.
Channel that inner Jewish grandmother voice and let it fly.
Now it's a challenge. Now
Well-
just try to do it good. To fuck it all up.
Well, you did have your punk rock song, Rock and Roll in My Butthole.
Yeah.
That's a classic. That is a classic.
It is great, actually. I
You
was
might
listening
know
to it
her
earlier.
from such hits as.
Rock and roll my butthole. Shark bait.
Yeah.
Give me some pants.
Yeah, me and Aaron have
There's
written a
actually
few songs
about 4
together.
or 5 singles on iTunes that we've written and recorded together for movies throughout the years.
So we
There
got to
you
hear
go.
it. So that's your challenge for the next time. For the next time you guys are on, we're going to do Shallow.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, deal.
You guys got a couple of weeks to work on it.
Start your
I'm
singing in
gonna
the shower.
practice and make sure it's good.
No, we want it
You
to
can
be
do it.
bad. But, you know, the more you practice, the worse it could get. So it's be like trilling and like up and down. It would be.
A lot of
Yeah.
on there.
So and one of the things when we saw the picture of you and we noticed a couple of things have changed for you.
A few things have changed.
A couple, two.
Yes.
Your
Two
neck
things.
tattoos.
2 things have changed.
Boobs.
So is this
She
like
got
the
boobs.
unboxing?
What?
The unboxing? Is this like the
Yeah,
debut of your boobs?
Well, I got my boobs done February 4th. And then, you need like a good 6 weeks of healing. And then it was kind of interesting. So, as soon as I was like, okay, I think I'm healed now. I'm ready to go do scenes again. And then the next day the world shut down. So I feel like I've kind of been in quarantine all year.
Yeah, your quarantine's like 50 days versus the 35 that everybody else is dealing with.
And right before the quarantine started, I was working on a second book. So that's also my own kind of quarantine because when you write a book, you kind of lose touch with the whole world. So I was like healing. Just every author should get some plastic surgery. It gives you an excuse to stay in.
Guys do it with vasectomies. Women can do it with plastic surgery. Like everybody schedules vasectomies on like Friday afternoon so that they can play pain and like their significant other can wait on them for a couple of days and
Right.
Yeah.
Because I had a whole year to write a book, and I kept finding like things to do to procrastinate it, but then after. Right, exactly. I'm like, I'll start it tomorrow. I'll do this. But once I got my boobs done, I'm like, well, I have nothing to do right now, and like the only walk to a chair and type. So.
What's the working title of this one?
What?
What's the working title
I'm
of this one?
actually still working on a title.
She's on the
so
title.
that's
She's working on the title.
something I need to do sometime before this quarantine's over. Is I have to go through the edits, and I have to think of a title.
How about Chicken Soup for the Vagina?
Yes, that's a good one.
I want to get back to boobs.
Your boobs. In
Yeah,
20 days.
I heal your boobs.
That's what I'm saying. So, Joanna, here's my question. Like, how much bigger did you go? Did you like just a little bit, big bit?
No, I guess I was like when you have natural boobs, they change all the time.
Right.
Yeah, you guys know, right?
Dude, mine have changed
Obviously.
just in the last 35 days.
So I guess I was like at B, sometimes a C. And now I went to get measured right before the world ended. I went to go buy a new bra. I was like, and they do the measuring thing at Victoria's Secret, which is usually what they do when you're like 13 years old. But yeah, it's like
I'm going to work at Victoria's Secret.
When you get your first bra, they measure your boobs. So I haven't done that since I was in middle school, actually. But I was like, can you measure my boobs? I just want to know. So they are a triple D. That's what they told me. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's the actual size, but I could definitely like in porn sizes, like nobody ever wears a bra that actually fits in porn. You want something.
Shove them all in, right.
And did you go to the doctor and say, I want a triple D?
No, you can't really, you have to go by CCs,
Yeah.
I thought you could do that. I thought you could just be like, here's how big I want my boobs. And they're like, no, how many CCs do you want? I'm like, well, what size does that mean? It could be different for everyone because it depends on what you start with, depends on your body frame. I don't know.
Did they do the computer graphic thing where they like take a picture of your boobs and then they like show you what they will look like on certain sizes?
They didn't.
Ooga.
They give you the gummy thing and then you put it inside your bra and they're like, all right, what size do you want? It's a very stressful decision because you have like 10 minutes and I'm like, I don't know.
So I have a little bit of a history with this one, and
So do
I went through the process with my wife and got to see.
So did I with my ex-wife.
My investment still stands. Dan's was tossed out a long time ago.
I actually asked for one boob back in a divorce.
And so, but it was really interesting because I went to a bunch of visits, or like when she was looking around for doctors, and every single one of them said, always go bigger. They're like, just, if you think you just want like a little, pick me up, but like at the end of the day, you're going to wish that you went a little bit bigger.
I even wish I went a little bigger.
And it's great. So, which leads me to my next question, right? So the unboxing, the unwrapping of these bad boys, right? So first, your thoughts on them, and I guess you haven't really gotten to see them go out in public yet. So like,
do you have a nickname for them yet?
We should come up with
very important questions here.
That's your job, Aaron, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big boob.
Name for her titties.
Small hands and big boob.
I was.
They look really small now when I'm hanging out here.
Don't do this to me.
Happy. It's crazy how short it is. Like for surgeons, like the entire surgery took like 30 minutes. I mean, it took an hour just because of the time that they put you under and stuff. But like literally, because my surgeon, he put it on like Instagram Live or whatever. So I watched it afterwards.
We get kicked off of Instagram. This dude goes out there. We get kicked off of Instagram for like posting like a normal photo, and this guy's broadcasting live surgery.
Are allowed to. I've seen a lot of the surgeons do that.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Double fucking standards.
After the whole thing, like literally from the time he actually started till it was done, it's like 20 minutes. I'm like, that's so crazy. It's
You know
like
how much that costs per minute?
I know. I know.
It's crazy. So once you kind of got home, feeling better, and you saw them for the first time, was it like, is it a new toy or?
Yeah, I was so happy. I was like, I wish I did this earlier. I wish I could go back in time and relive my life with big boobs. And you know what? To all the girls out there, everyone tried to talk me out of it. Everybody's like, don't do it. And I actually, beforehand, I went to 3 doctors in Beverly Hills. They all turned me down because I guess I'm not by any stretch of the imagination trying to like brag or anything, but they all said, your boobs are too perfect and we won't touch them. I'm like, but they are not perfect. They are small.
But they weren't though, because for those who haven't met you, I mean, you're what, like 5'1", 5'2"?
4'11" and 3/4.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So you're technically a little person.
Yeah, I guess I am. I think it's like 4'11" flat.
We're doing on our show tonight, our live show that we're recording, that we're doing live later tonight. We have actually a little person on there, little sassy Cassie.
Cassie.
That chick is so badass. But anyway, it's just, no, it's like my girlfriend's always there. Like, I want to get boobs, and she's got great natural boobs. I mean, like, no, leave your boobs alone.
Yeah, well,
I've been down this road.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if it makes you feel good and it's what you want to do, it's a personal choice. It has nothing to do with anybody else's choice. Like, more power to you.
But I think everyone who had boobs were the only ones supporting me. Like, no, just do it. No, just do it. So
because they were in on the secret.
Yeah, they knew happiness on the other side.
And I want to know how many times Jay rehearsed that speech that he gave to his wife.
Yeah. No, dude, she mentioned it one time.
It makes you feel better? Of course. Of course. If it makes you feel better, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
Your boobs are perfect as they are, but if you really want to do it, I support you.
Anytime a girl asks me, should I get them done? I'm just like, yes, you will look better. Trust me.
Listen, I wasn't fighting
Aaron's
it.
just shaking his head. And how were you with the whole thing, Aaron? Were you like, supportive?
I said, I love your boobs now, and I will love your boobs in the future.
And it's true.
No matter what they
Smart man.
Smart
man.
Pretty fucking sweet. Pretty sweet.
Oh, you can curse. You can say
curse?
You can curse.
We can curse. We just can't show boobs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we could we could do a gun show, but we couldn't. God forbid you show any type of flesh.
Cocksucker, motherfucker, shit, piss, tits. What was the other one? The 7:30. George Carlin.
Yeah.
7 words you can't say on TV.
I think you missed the C word.
Motherfucker. Oh, cocksucker.
Oh.
He didn't do the other C word. They didn't have that one in there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think usually that's not acceptable anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what? It's all a matter of empowerment, man. I know a lot of women that use it, and some people that think it's like their favorite word. It's.
I don't like it. I don't like that word. I think it's nice.
How do you feel about the word moist?
Really dislike someone. I have to dislike someone so much.
I feel like it only sounds cool when British people say it.
Yes, British people can say it.
Because it's meant.
I have
totally
no
different.
explanation, but when I hear like a British person say it, I'm like,
then it's okay. That's okay. British
everybody
people,
else does too.
Yeah, British
British people can say anything. Like I used to do that to Tanya Tate all the time. Like just say the dirtiest words ever, and it just sounds polite coming out of their mouth.
It does, yeah. I know.
Dry oatmeal.
Dry oatmeal.
They have an advantage. Yeah. Everything they say sounds more polite, and also everything they say sounds funnier.
So, I have a question. Outside of like all the work and online stuff that you're doing as you guys are quarantined in, like what do you play board games? What do you do to pass your time? Like aside from work?
That's not work.
She jacks off a lot in all corners of the house.
Well, that's for my OnlyFans. You know.
Do you just like walk into like the kitchen to like get something to drink, and there's Joanna like over the counter?
Of course, you're on the stove.
Well, I actually, because in OnlyFans is like a thing that just exists all the time. So sometimes I need like motivation to do it. So I actually have like dildos and butt plugs everywhere as like a reminder, so like I have like dildos and butt plugs in the cupboards in the kitchen, because then when I'm cooking I can remember to just stick something in me for 10 minutes and film it and then just keep cooking. I have them in the bathtub. I have them everywhere as sort of like
I opened my guitar case and there was one in there, and that I don't even understand that.
I will preface this, like, don't grab it because we can't show it. But in our screen, I can see something over Aaron's right shoulder. Don't pick it up.
Don't look. Don't look.
Don't look at it. But there's one right there. It's like, where's Waldo?
No sudden movements.
I know that like if I have to go, because I used to just keep them all in like a thing in my closet, and then the time I'm like, I gotta go get that dildo, like I'm already over it and I'm gonna think of something else to do. So I need them as motivation.
And Aaron, do you have an OnlyFans account also?
Not really. I kind of.
It's either yes or no. There's no not really. Like try anal, not really.
I haven't updated it in a while. I'm being very honest.
Yeah, but you made a cameo. Sorry.
You want to? Yeah.
No.
What was that?
What was this?
I just play a lot of music at home. I have a recording studio, and I'm always writing songs. And I already finished an EP, like a record where I played all the instruments, I sang everything, I wrote everything, and it's being mixed right now. And so I'm always just working on music during the downtime.
That's
like,
awesome.
what style is your music?
It is kind of like an 80s synth pop, like Depeche Mode, but updated kind of vibe. But most of the bands I was in have been like punk bands, rock bands. So usually like punk rock oriented kind of stuff.
What was so you used to tour a lot, like, so I have, what was your favorite place to go visit? Like country, state?
My favorite country I've ever probably toured in is Germany. I've been all over Germany, Munich, Berlin, Dusseldorf, Hamburg, and my favorite state, man, not to sound weird, but California. Even though I live here and I'm from here, I've been in about 35 of the 50 states, and a lot of them I love, but there's a reason why California is California.
Hang your hat.
So Joanna's from Jersey, so Jay will make his Jersey jokes because he lives in Philly. I'm in Jersey. So Joanna and I, obviously different time frames, but we grew up. We lived, like, when I first met Joanne, we were just talking and bullshitting, and it turned out she lives like her family lives, and she's from the next town over from me, like, this little, area, little Hamburg, so to speak, in Jersey, whatever. So have you been to visit Jersey at all, Aaron?
Yeah.
Obviously. What do you think of Jersey?
Joanna has showed me
and he froze.
I never saw New York until Joanna showed me.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
We always use, we'd go to Jersey Exotica and then we'd spend,
Yeah, that was our usual routine. Was after the Jersey Exotica, we'd take a few days and just vacation, see family, both in Jersey and in Brooklyn. And
New York is such a different place if you have somebody to show you what's up. Like, I mean, if you just walk in and you end up in Times Square and you're like, all right, cool, like, you know.
Well, with her being an East Coast girl, she's like, we're not going here. That's stupid. We are going here because it's somewhere cool, I know. And, and I really got to see the real deal stuff. And then once we kind of spent a few years doing that, it was fun later. We started
to do the sightseeing. Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, it's silly. Like, we went ice skating in Rockefeller Center, and that was fun. I mean, silly, but fun, And so I've gotten to see Joanna's my East Coast ambassador.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's been, we go to New Jersey. He's been to my parents' house, and
I still have yet to go over your parents' house for a Seder.
Yeah, we did a Zoom Seder.
I know that everybody did that this year.
Yeah, and you know what I saw? Like, it was so, because I'm not used to having to like do anything here for the Seder because I always go back to my parents' house, and I was like, so I was trying to find like a Seder plate and just like random things to have for my Zoom Seder, and I called every single kosher or kosher style like restaurant or takeout place in all of Los Angeles, and everyone was like sold out of Passover food. I was like, God, not even a pandemic will stop Jews from like from doing this. Like, I was just trying to find stuff just to have in front of my computer screen. I found one place
to make it look like you were at least like attempting to like make it happen. Yeah.
Well, this is like the plague, man.
Because I had to drive pretty far. I mean, not like there's traffic now. I had to drive pretty far and like wait in this like very complicated line where everybody's wearing masks and standing 6 feet apart. And I came home with, a Seder plate. So there's like a hard-boiled egg and like some weird, like a piece of lettuce and like horse. Like, I don't know. Aaron's like, this is what you drove?
Like, the amount of work did not equal the payoff. Something is really off.
Joanna, this is a plate with an egg and a piece of lettuce. I'm like, you don't understand.
So,
listen,
Aaron,
their people walked across the desert, but Joanna went all the way across LA to get some lettuce and an egg. So,
being from my parents, my dad's a Christian preacher, so I grew up with a very extensive knowledge of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
We just didn't have plates with parsley and eggs. So.
Hey,
we did McDonald's, like regular white trash.
The bitters.
I had gefilte fish.
Which is the most disgusting thing ever.
No, not when it's fresh. When it's like, not the stuff in the jar is scary. It's like the fresh one's pretty
just
good.
the name is scary.
The goop of it.
The goop, yeah. That's like what but they don't have that on the fresh one.
I mean, as Jay will be the first one to attest, I'm like probably the worst Jew ever. I'm Jewish when I want to be, or when he wants me to be.
Right.
So, which actually we just announced our DC dates, which were supposed to be in June. We just moved to December because of everything. What a segue, right? Which is on December 11th, which is the first night of Hanukkah.
Oh.
Does
Jay ask me if I'm okay with this? No.
Well, maybe everybody will bring you gifts.
Well,
but when it comes time to negotiating contracts, I'm as Jewish as he wants me to be.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey,
well,
we all play.
And I can say that he can't. But I kind of see like your whole juxtaposition there because, my parents were Jewish. My father converted though, and my father became, and I lived down in Florida for a while, so my father became a Southern Baptist.
Oh,
so
really?
I was raised like, kind of in the church down in Florida. When I lived down in Florida with my father for like my middle school years and part of my high school, by my father was like, I mean, born again, fucking baptized, just like all this crazy shit. It was insane. And, like Joanne's got this look of horror on her face right now. We talked about this at some point, but so I'm just like kind of like all over the place, and my kids are raised just hey, believe in God, be a good person. That's it. I really don't practice anything, so to speak. Like my son didn't have a bris. We did actually have a Moyle come into the hospital to do it, but that's just where we are. But Jay's like totally lost right now. Aaron kind of gets it. Joanna 100% gets it.
I get it. Yeah.
We should have you should come to Exotica DC, and we should have Hanukkah at Exotica DC.
We can do the first night of Hanukkah.
We could. Jay, would you be down with that?
I'm down. I'll bring the lighter.
You get a present. One present.
One present.
Each
Well,
night you get 8 presents.
And it's the
Yeah.
little present, right? The first day is always the little one.
No, not really.
No, yeah, that is how it worked. You're right, Jay. They
Yeah.
would give you small presents, and then the last night is when you get your big present,
See?
Yeah, but
I know my
all
Jewish presents.
all my presents were the same, so they all sucked.
like a sock.
Here's a
We
brick.
didn't have much money.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Aw,
Dan,
well,
you
You got gefilte fish.
keep building us up.
Jar gefilte fish.
yeah.
Such sexy, uplifting conversation.
Yeah, seriously. Every time Dan gets a hold of this thing, he just keeps taking us down memory lane.
It's interesting. We know Joanna, but other people may not.
I know.
And people are getting an education with this.
That's-
Exotica TV also. We also
They're
teach
learning
you.
about different kinds of gefilte fish.
Exactly. I'm going to make you eat gefilte fish. How do you like that?
Listen,
Jay?
I'll try. I'm married to a Chinese girl. There is nothing that you could put on a plate in front of me that would scare me.
Gefilte fish.
Oh, there's really good Chinese food in Philly.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of. I was a straight cheeseburger eating like American kid, and once my wife introduced me to like the outside the cheeseburger world, I can pretty much eat anything. I don't like little bones. The little bones and things bother me. Like say like
Right.
frog's legs or like
Chicken feet.
Chicken feet. Can't
Yeah.
do it. My son, however, can eat chicken feet, and it's terrifying and hilarious all at the same time. Yeah.
Bats. What about bats, Jay? How do you feel
No,
about eating bats?
I do not condone anybody eating bats. Keep bats out of your diet. I made the mistake of watching Contagion the other night, the like crazy like plague movie from like the late 90s or whatever. You realize like that movie it starts off with like bat poop. Then they start talking about like social distancing and like all this stuff like from the late 90s. And it's like,
I've never seen the movie.
I've
I'll have
never
to watch
dude,
it.
you got to watch it. It's fascinating and terrifying. And it literally like half of the terminology that you're hearing people use now was used in this movie in the late 90s. Like,
Right.
yeah, wild. I don't know where that came from. Oh, eating bats. That's right.
Yes. So, with you guys, so we're gonna do a little thing. So we do this at Exotica, right? On the stage, and you've been there. You know, obviously, you see what we do on our stages. So we've been doing the Newlywed Game,
Okay.
or our version of it. So we'll try this for you. And obviously, we can't do this because you're right there. So I don't know if we could have you leave the room, but you would still hear it. So we'll just see how you answer this, though. So.
You want me to lean back and let her?
Well, no, let
Yeah,
him
right.
let him answer first, and then
Eating.
we can confirm with Joanna whether he's right or
right.
wrong.
Okay.
All right. So, Aaron, which of your wife's friends is the hottest?
I mean,
She's got a lot of hot friends, man.
Seriously, that's
And
like
I've had
such
sex
a
with
loaded question.
has sex with all of them, so that's
man, like, there's so many of them. I'd say I have to go with Aiden Ashley.
Aw, you picked the right one.
It's-
Is that what you would have said, Joanna?
I
She
wouldn't
just
have-
we have a long friendship, the three of us.
Gotcha.
That's a complicated question, but I'm glad he picked that answer.
By the way, let me interject in this because I was reading one thing before we jumped on here. It was an article about your monogamous relationship. Was it like a New York Times? It was something interesting. It was like talking about how like how you would film, but then but man, now I got to find it. Never mind. I'll pull it up as we
Great
talk.
segue.
It was very. Keep going.
I'm
Dan.
prepared.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's bringing this thing up.
Sorry, I was just like, remember that thing one time?
Yeah, that one time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I passed that one with flying colors.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
What cuss word does Joanna use the most?
Honestly, Joanna doesn't really curse unless she's getting railed.
And then I say.
And then she says fuck a lot. She doesn't really cuss like in her normal speech.
Not even when she gets mad?
Not like really not anything I can remember really, like always,
Okay.
more just Aaron versions of that.
Yep. Makes sense.
What celebrity would Joanna most like to make whoopee with?
Fuck, a lot of them.
Yeah,
Men, women, like both.
One of each, man and woman. Which one?
You like a lot of people.
I know. No, this is your game.
Who do you drool over when
Well, I already have sex with a celebrity. You.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
And you, my favorite.
Oh, boy. You know what? I think Joanna would probably not even want to like have Whoopi, but be in a relationship with Kathleen Hanna. And that's
Or Carrie Brown.
Or Carrie, yeah. Like the girl rockers, you know. I can see Joanna leaving me for a fierce female like singer of a rock band or something. You just whipped me in the face again with your
I'm
hair.
sorry.
3 times.
I don't know why. I just keep playing with my hair.
That's by the way, you've always done that forever.
Yeah,
I know.
I have. I don't know.
Who did Joanna lose her virginity to?
Oh, Steve Asbury, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's a friend of ours, so it's all good.
If Joanna compared your love life to a car, which would it be? A Ferrari, a monster truck, a Prius, or a Model T?
I'm going to go out of the box here and say more like a transformer, like a toy that turns into a truck, because depending on the situation, if there's a camera on,
Optimus Prime.
It can really morph into very, very, very different things and go at very different speeds, all the way up through the galaxy or just cruising down the street.
All right. Joanna, your questions. Ready?
Oh, okay.
How long did Aaron last the first time you guys made whoopee?
Oh,
That's a great question.
Thank you.
the first time?
It couldn't have been very long.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not claiming anything at this point. Like,
There's no way it was that long. It was probably...
Yeah.
It's her question. You can't answer it. She's got it.
I'm going to say 10 minutes.
I mean, that's
You agreeing with that?
I was going to say 10 minutes.
that's wildly respectable.
We did it, and then we did it again. And the second time was much longer.
Well,
That's always the case.
that's how it works.
He's not getting a gold star for that shit. I mean, that's fucking...
Listen, we don't give you props on the second time.
We already know yours, playing with your hair all the time, but what is Aaron's most annoying habit?
Dan, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to get them to divorce, or are we leading them down the path?
It's the fucking game. It's supposed to be.
Are we
like
the sand in the oyster that's going to make a pearl? What's our end game here?
He brushes his teeth in the kitchen sink. We have 2 bathrooms. We understand why he has to brush his teeth in the kitchen sink. So there's toothpaste and a toothbrush and mouthwash and, just always wear the...
Is there a logical answer to this, Aaron, or is it just...
I have absolutely no reason. I've been doing it my whole adult life.
And Jay, if I was trying to instigate a fight with them, I would now ask Aaron what Joanna's most important annoying habit is, but I'm not going to do that.
Just take her side.
Joanna, who makes the bigger mess in the bathroom, you or him?
No, Joanna. Joanna likes to sometimes, in the middle of a conversation, just pick up her phone and start reading recipes or do something completely unrelated, and then you're left just talking.
She's just moving on.
Yeah, she likes to move in and out of conversations as she sees fit, and sometimes you don't really know it's happening,
Right.
Which sometimes can get annoying if it's something important you're saying.
Who does do that?
All right.
Next question. These days.
No, there's no defending that because I'm with Aaron. That fucking is annoying as fuck. Who makes the bigger mess in the bathroom, you or him?
Well, yeah, that's him.
Well,
Really?
mess, like around counters and stuff, not in the toilet.
No, well, because I also have a weird habit where I haven't had a barber or a hair. I've cut my own hair for the past 4 or 5 years straight.
Okay.
So I'm always doing my thing.
So it's not like a once a month haircut. It's every couple of days.
Just look at it, and if it feels like a piece needs to be gone, I just do it.
Always just chunks of hair.
Yeah, she's not really. Yeah, I make the bigger mess.
Okay.
All right. What superhero best represents Aaron's penis?
Superhero. Okay, let me think through all the superheroes.
Ram Man.
Ant-Man.
What about Batman?
Why?
You can't just pick a name out of the
I
hat.
just like
She can, and she just did.
because it leads like multiple lives, you know. Like I feel like Aaron's penis definitely.
Two.
Has,
He's a millionaire, playboy millionaire, and he's a fucking crime-fighting
it can be
vigilante
like
superhero.
by day and something by night.
You know what he wanted to hear, Joanna?
What?
The Incredible Hulk, Superman, Spider-Man.
No. His penis.
Spider-Man.
His penis is not like Incredible Hulk.
Where are the sound effects when you need them?
More dignified.
Or like Howard the Duck.
Yeah. It's like sexy with multiple personalities and ultimately a good heart, you know. Batman like has a good heart, you know, and his penis is very
This got
it's a
so
good heart.
strange.
It's a caring penis that just wants to help people.
You have a glimpse into the like brain of Joanna Angel.
And it is wild.
Terrifying. Yeah.
It's a big brain. She's also been touted actually as porn smartest star.
Oh,
Really?
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, seriously, in like a lot of articles.
I'm just kidding. Miss Rucker.
Great publicist. A great publicist.
What
Yeah.
a great publicist.
Oh no, I didn't even pick that.
That's the first.
Remember, there was an article. Yeah, where they said me and Caden, and there was like a couple other people in there.
Ron Jeremy was listed in there, I think.
Was he?
Yeah. Ron Jeremy's actually, besides being a glomming, horrible human being, in my opinion.
Personal
Not opinions
opinion.
Expressed,
We don't
personal
have to,
opinion.
right.
But he is very intelligent.
Well,
Dirty and disgusting, in my opinion,
but smart.
but smart.
He is Jewish, so
He is Jewish, but there's also bad Jewish people in porn too.
right. But
We won't go into those names either.
yeah, we don't go into those names. But Jews are usually, you know,
It's like the Scarlet
Smart.
Letter.
yeah. It's
All I know is I ain't
Aaron's
making this list.
Dude, I'm middle-aged white guy with no religious ties. I'm standing the hell out of this one.
Oh man. So anyway, guys, remind everybody where they can find you. With that, we're gonna segue right into wrap this fucker up before we get you guys divorced.
Oh man.
Up they froze again.
No, they didn't freeze. They'll be right back. There they are.
So okay, real quick, because you guys froze. Where can everybody find you online?
You can find me at _.
Twitter, Instagram, maybe
Twitter.
OnlyFans sometimes.
I'm on.
And Miss Angel, where can people find you?
It's
Mrs.
Joanna Angel. Yeah, at Joanna Angel on both Instagram and Twitter. Both my accounts are verified, so please don't talk to a fake
I
Joanna.
guess you had to drop that flex in there. Ooh, both of my
Well,
accounts
no,
are
I
verified.
You got
Mine
that
are
check
so-
mark? I got that check mark.
If you talk to a fake Joanna, there's a lot of fake small hands. Way more fake small hands than fake Joannas.
Yeah.
So wait, now you're Mrs. Hands. You're no longer Miss Angel.
Yeah.
I'd rather be Mr. Angel than have her be Mrs. Hanson.
Wait, are you and Jay Handy related?
I
By the
know,
way,
right?
I laughed because as I was typing out his username, I accidentally wrote the small handy, and then I went back and changed it.
And by the way, and we will end this show by saying that will now be James' nickname forever. The Small Handy.
The small handy.
Andy.
Oh.
Hit me up on
Dude,
Twitter
that-
at the small handy _.
That's not going anywhere.
Oh, great. Real professional, Joanna. Leaving
All
your
right,
phone
all
ring
right.
on during
Man,
the
you know, we had this thing in the can,
As long as
and then it.
Joanna, can you read us a recipe, please?
What's on
Guys.
tap for tonight?
No, I have another place on the internet to go to at like 11. You know, so.
All right. Well, hey, we wanted to thank you for coming on at the butt crack of dawn.
And thank you for letting us go
guys.
first. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Les. We don't want to be sloppy seconds to anybody.
That's right.
Guys, Aaron, awesome, seeing you on here. We guys have you guys back on. You're gonna have to, sing and start working on some songs for us.
I'm on the deep end, watch as I dive.
There you go.
Joanna, always a pleasure. I mean, as you know, you're one of our favorites. Hopefully, we're gonna see you at some of the shows this year.
Yeah. If there is one.
There will be. There will.
Oh, we're
be.
doing it.
It might just be the four of us fucking standing there, but there's gonna be a fucking show.
Oh man, thank you guys.
Oh, and they froze again. Wait, we gotta wait till we can't leave them like this.
Give them the outro. There you go.
All right, guys. Hey, make sure you keep follow us always at EXXXOTICA.tv on Twitter and Periscope. Go to our website www.EXXXOTICA.tv.
EXXXOTICA.tv. That's a
TV,
web domain.
TV is a domain. It's a domain. You guys know that?
Yep.
.tv is a domain.
Craziness.
And be sure to check out these guys on social media. Find Joanna up on OnlyFans. She will probably be on her stove as
With a butt plug in.
With a butt plug in as Aaron is brushing his teeth in the kitchen sink. Guys, everybody out there, stay safe, stay sexy, and we will see you soon.